Chapter 14, Mishnah 3. The Mishnah discusses various metal utensils. A builder's bar, i.e. a metal bar that builders use to break walls. And a carpenter's spike, i.e. a pointed tool that carpenters use to make holes in wood, can become tame. Tent pegs, which pin tents to the ground, and surveyor's pegs, which are used in the measuring of land, can become tame, even though they are hammered into the ground. The pegs are not considered attached to the ground, in which case they would be tahor, because they are not left in the ground permanently, but are eventually pulled out. A surveyor's chain can become tame, even though it is attached to pegs planted in the ground, because it too will eventually be removed. But a chain made for tying bundles of wood or measuring pieces of wood is tahor, because it does not have a name of its own. The chain of a large bucket can become tame up to a length of 4 tefachim. That is, the 4 tefachim of the chain that are nearest the bucket can become tame, but not the rest of the chain, because the rest of the chain is not needed. But the chain of a small bucket can become tame up to the length of 10 tefachim, because as much as the first 10 tefachim of the chain are used in the case of small buckets. A blacksmith's stand, i.e. the stand upon which blacksmiths put their bellows, can become tame. The Mishnah now speaks of a metal kli that is already tame. If someone made a teeth of a tame saw extend into an opening, that is, he attached the saw to a horizontal beam at the top of the doorway with its teeth pointing downward, the saw remains tame. However, if he attached the saw upside down so that the teeth of the saw are inside the beam and they do not extend into the doorway, the saw becomes tahor. A general rule about the covers of pots and the like. All metal covers of Keilim are tahor because a cover does not have a name of its own, but is identified by the kli it is covering. An exception to this rule is the cover of an urn, because such a cover is a kli in its own right.